What's up, YouTube? So this video gonna be about Barry Gibb's musical influences. The leader of the Bee Gees. Let's go. He mentioned soul, R&B, country, folk, bluegrass. He mentioned Cliff Richards, Paul McCartney, Simon Garfunkel, Rolling Stones, the Beatles, Paul Anka, Carole King, and when you listen to his music and the British invasion that happened, you can see all that the Everly Brothers too. I want to touch into that. Yeah, I can see that because Blue Eyed Soul, that inspiration, the way they sung certain songs, definitely. Especially like I could see that with the Everly Brothers. I could really sense that with the tone, the phrasing, the vibe. I could sense that. I could definitely sense that. When he mentioned Paul Anka as a songwriter, there's a certain type of tone. I can sense that too. That's not a surprising. Like when I like it when artists mention influences because if you go and listen to the works and then you listen to the stylings, it comes back where you can hear it. You sometimes people think they need a magnifying glass to say, "Oh, no, I can hear that there," but their music should speak directly towards what they're conveying, like the influence. It should be like a blueprint. And in his case, I could hear that Cliff Richards was hugely successful in England. If I told you that he was the biggest male artist in England, would you believe me? Because obviously you might assume it's Tom Jones. You might assume it's Rod Stewart. You might assume Elton John. You might assume George Michael. I bet you there'll be about five or so names that you would think of before you say Cliff Richards if you're not from there or, no, or haven't followed the charts from there. So he was huge back then with that. And he did those duets with Liv Newton-John, which Barry Gibb and them did too later. So that's not a surprise. That's not a surprise. The Mills Brothers comes from Barry Gibbs' father, and it is their harmony. The Mills Brothers were very strong, soulful brothers, and I did have a CDs of theirs a long time ago. They had some very distinctive harmonies and tones. So the Rolling Stones with the edginess, I could see that. Carole King, one of the greatest songwriters ever. So I don't see anything surprising or shocking about that at all. Not at all. When I listen to the music, I can definitely sense that. I can hear that. So I'm never shocked or surprised. I think it's when you you know, don't when you reflecting, but it's very much there. So that's a good call with that. I think I could definitely, see that and I could definitely sense that. So I like that. I think that's definitely um, where it's at with that. So I would definitely, put that in perspective that that was something that would definitely, hmm hmm listen to his music and Simon Garfunkel. So the harmonies of those guys and the acoustic, I can hear that. And where Barry Gibb would write with the acoustic guitar and then the folk type of thing, there was a tone to that. He mentioned Paul McCartney's bass playing. I've heard other musicians say that about McCartney too. So there's a certain rhythm and a cadence. So that's certain things that they follow through with. So that's what Maurice Gibb was on bass and the tone. So it's it's a good roller coaster to understanding how Barry Gibb formulated to how he became one of the greatest songwriters artists ever. So as the leader of the Bee Gees. Anyway, let me know what you think. Please hit like, subscribe, work on thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like and hit that membership. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm all the time. Peace.